Scientists discovered an alien skull, astonishingly still showing signs of life, with new cells growing on its scalp. Intrigued, they decided to stimulate its nerves with electric currents. However, as the electric currents intervened, the skull displayed a painful expression, and a foul-smelling black liquid continued to ooze from its scalp. The scientists promptly sealed it in a containment unit. The skull suddenly burst open, prompting them to sample its cells. Upon comparing the DNA, they were astonished to find it perfectly matching that of humans. Tracing back thousands of years, an engineer consumed a peculiar liquid in one gulp. Soon, the liquid began to take effect as his body gradually disintegrated. The DNA, visible breaking down rapidly, led to his fall into the water. Following his dissolution, the remnants of deoxyribonucleic acid underwent continuous recombination, evolving over millennia into the initial cells of humanity. Humans, it turned out, were the creation of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, a truth only surfacing gradually until the year 2089. On that day, two scientists discovered cave paintings. These paintings depicted humans pointing towards a specific star system. Surprisingly, they found identical information in various ancient ruins, leading them to believe that humans were created by an advanced civilization residing in that star system. The elderly CEO of Weyland Corporation spared no expense, pouring millions into exploration and research. He tasked his daughter, Vickers, with recruiting a team of 17 adventurers to embark on the Prometheus, a super light-speed spacecraft developed by the company, bound for the target star system. The journey took a total of 2.5 years. During this period, all 17 crew members were in a state of hibernation, with android David overseeing all operations within the spacecraft. As they approached their destination, David woke the crew one by one, overcoming the side effects of hibernation. The spacecraft was manually maneuvered to land on the target planet. True to expectations, they discovered ancient structures on the planet's surface, unmistakably crafted by an intelligent civilization. After a safe landing, 6 crew members were sent to explore. They found evidence of a man-made oxygen generation system. Stripping off their oxygen masks, they continued their exploration, stumbling upon a decapitated body, and the severed head appeared to have been crushed by the stone door before them. David identified the switch for the stone door, and as it slowly ascended, they were met with a colossal head sculpture. Neatly arranged below were numerous cylindrical vessels, adorned with a black organic substance that even David couldn't analyze. Just as they contemplated further exploration, a sandstorm erupted outside. The captain swiftly ordered a retreat. Shaw hastily secured the decapitated head, while David discreetly took one of the cylindrical vessels. As the sandstorm intensified, everyone rushed back. However, Shaw, in order to salvage the situation, narrowly escaped death, fortunately saved by David. Unfortunately, the geologist and biologist got separated inside the structure. With the storm raging outside, the captain decided to wait for its passing before retrieving them. Meanwhile, Shaw was dissecting the head, and upon DNA comparison, their belief in the advanced civilization creating humanity was strengthened. As night fell, David engaged in a clandestine conversation with his master. Following a peculiar command, he retrieved a cylindrical vessel he had covertly taken from the ancient structure. Opening it, he revealed a glass container wrapped in a viscous, gel-like substance. The truly unsettling element was the black organic matter within the container. Breaking the safety valve of the container, he poured a drop of black liquid into Charlie's drink. Oblivious, Charlie consumed it and returned to his room, sharing a bed with his girlfriend. When Charlie woke up, he discovered a thin worm-like creature in his eye. But with a mission to rescue their trapped teammates imminent, they had to set aside the matter of the parasite. 2 team members retraced their steps to the room filled with cylindrical vessels. Unbeknownst to them, the earlier opening of the stone door had allowed creatures from the sealed space to mutate under the influence of the black organic substance. The biologist, intrigued by their peculiar appearance, approached them. Suddenly, one of the creatures lunged at the biologist, clamping onto his right hand with incredible strength. The geologist swiftly drew a small knife, but as he cut into the creature, its blood sprayed onto his oxygen mask. Subsequently, the creature regenerated, corroding the geologist's oxygen mask instantly. The creature then entered the biologist's suit, making its way into his mouth. When the rescue team arrived, all they found were the remains of their teammates. Charlie, now with bloodshot eyes, realized he had been infected by some kind of virus. Amidst the chaos of evacuation, everyone fled, except for David. He opened another stone door, revealing rows of tightly packed cylindrical vessels, and as he pressed a few buttons, holographic projections appeared, demonstrating the functions of the panel. In the center of the panel, a cosmic map emerged. strangely indicating Earth as the destination. As the projections faded, David noticed an engineer still in stasis. Leaning in, he listened and, upon hearing a heartbeat, displayed a sinister smile. On the other side, Charlie, now infected, began to transform. Approaching the spacecraft's entrance, he was stopped by Vickers, who feared the virus might be contagious. Desperate for death, Charlie was burnt alive by Vickers' flamethrower. Shaw, witnessing the tragedy, was devastated. When she woke up later, David informed her that she was pregnant, and from the ultrasound, the fetus was already 3 months old. Shaw, shocked, knew she was sterile, and the recent intimacy was only with the mutated Charlie. Speculations ran wild, and as they prepared to sedate Shaw, intending to handle the situation back on Earth, she suddenly woke up, incapacitated her teammates, and made a hasty escape. Determined to know what was inside her, she entered an automated medical chamber, ready to perform a cesarean section. With a sharp incision, intense pain nearly overwhelmed her. But as the machine grasped the placenta, an unexpected sight awaited her, a four-armed octopoid creature. Shaw quickly activated the hemostasis and stitching system, then fled the medical chamber in horror after initiating the disinfection system. She unintentionally entered a concealed chamber, finding an Peter Weyland seated inside, the mastermind behind everything. The reason for investing his fortune in this exploration was his belief that the engineers, the creators of humanity, held the key to prolonging life. Learning from David that a living engineer existed, Weyland decided to personally seek the secret of immortality. Driven by the desire to unravel the mystery of human origins, Shaw chose to accompany him. Soon, they returned to the ancient structure. As David activated the control panel, opening the stasis pods, the enigmatic creator, the engineer, finally revealed his true form. Weyland, who had prepared David by teaching him the engineer's language through ancient texts, attempted to communicate, but the engineer swiftly decapitated him. In the chaos, Shaw managed to escape. The engineer did not pursue her. Opening the cockpit, revealing the spacecraft to be a cosmic vessel, he covered his head with a biohelmet. The ancient structure began to shake violently. It turned out to be the engineer's biochemical weapons military base. His mission was to load it with biochemical weapons to Earth and annihilate humanity. Shaw deduced his intentions and urgently contacted the captain of the Prometheus, aiming to prevent the extraterrestrial craft from taking off, prompting the captain to decide on a desperate measure, colliding Prometheus with the extraterrestrial ship, ensuring they both met their demise. Upon hearing the impending collision, Vickers swiftly escaped. As the plasma accelerator activated, Prometheus became a guided missile hurtling towards the extraterrestrial ship. After the explosion, the alien craft immediately shattered into pieces. Vickers, who had just narrowly escaped, was flattened by debris from the ship. Shaw, hastily returning to the escape pod in search of a glimmer of hope, she discovered that the creature previously extracted from her abdomen hadn't died. It had grown even larger. At this moment, David's voice came through the intercom. He informed Shaw that the engineer was still alive and on his way to find her. Just as the message sank in, Shaw witnessed the engineer appearing in her field of view. Opening the pod door, she released the creature inside. Seeing the engineer gradually engulfed by the creature, Shaw made her escape. Just when she thought she was condemned to die on this alien planet, David continued to relay information. Each of the structures was, in fact, an extraterrestrial spacecraft, and only he knew how to pilot them. Shaw, accompanied by David, departed in another extraterrestrial ship, but their destination wasn't Earth, it was the engineer's home planet. She wanted to understand why the engineers created humanity only to seek its destruction. As they left the planet, the previous creature, exploiting the engineer's body, gave rise to a new life form, the first-generation xenomorph Deacon.